guys, welcome back to Chaos Unleashed. Today we're doing the first episode of our podcast. We hope to do 1 or 2 episodes a month. And for today, for our first podcast, we have a very special guest. Come on in, Dean from GetRealVlogs. Woo! Woo! So for our first podcast, we were hoping to kind of shed some light on 2020. It's kind of been the worst year ever in history for all of us.
Yeah, for us at least, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're hoping to kind of bring some light into it, talk about some of our best moments, our most positive moments.
Hey, over there!
Hey!
And Brandon's here too.
Yeah,
Yay.
It's me and Molly's podcast. Brandon's just joining us.
I looked at Dean the entire time.
The entire time.
So Dean, since you're our guest, you get to go first. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, what was one of your best moments of 2020?
Best moments, oh.
So many to pick from.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so we'll start with, since we're on a podcast, YouTube. At the beginning of 2020, like March, I think we went in lockdown. And we weren't supposed to go out and do things. I started filming. I started doing YouTube and everything, and so everyone growing up said, you can film YouTube, nothing will come to it, and now I have a good amount of following. I love doing it. Even if I didn't have following, I would still continue to do it because I enjoy it. And I'd say 2020 brought out my creative side of YouTube, and I love doing that.
And I think one of the good things about quarantine was a lot of people were like consuming digital media far more than we were before.
Yes.
Like that was all there was to do was YouTube videos, Netflix, Hulu. I have watched ungodly amounts of YouTube, more than I was last year for sure. My screen time just shot up in March because all I could do was go to work and come home and watch YouTube.
What about you, bud?
Come on, Brandon. What was your best moment or one of your best moments?
I think I know one of them. I hope you mention it. I think she knows too.
I think this is probably it.
Just me?
No.
Not me?
No.
Oh.
We got engaged.
Not me and him. Him and her! Yay! Applause!
I would say that's probably... I'd say so.
It took a long time, and I'm glad he did it.
So what about you?
I work in a healthcare setting, and I was previously just a direct care aide, and through work they gave me the opportunity right before... This was my time
Right
to
before
talk.
the cat came in.
Right before the cat came in. Right before COVID, we were working on doing a medication aid class, and then quarantine kind of happened. It kind of got moved back a little bit, but we still finished. So even though quarantine and like COVID and everything happened, I was still able to take that class and make more money. And I take my test in 2 days to get my license. 2 days. And instead of studying, I'm doing this. But I think it's going to be great. It was an opportunity that I never thought I would get. That was probably one of my best moments.
It's awesome. What else we got
You
here?
need another one. Because...
Let's give a few. Let's just...
Yeah, like just...
I
like,
have one. And Brendan can come back on it too. And we'll start off with me talking about this, and Molly can add in too. So, Brandon and I, we hadn't hung out for about 3 years, I'd say.
Oh,
2
yeah.
3 years. And him and I contacted each other, and we met for dinner and hung out, and obviously clicked as if nothing ever happened without, like, we act like we were still hanging out every day. And that's just us. We're crazy, we're fun, we're dumb. We skip school sometimes.
Mostly dumb.
And we wanted to continue to hang out, obviously. And fun fact, Molly did not like me in high school. She may not still like me, but you know,
I think
I
it's
understand.
there.
It's up in the air.
It's up in the air.
You know, it's questionable. That's why
I
this
may
is
be
good.
in the wedding. We'll see. I may be the bride.
Maybe.
Maybe.
They're just going to kick me out. I'll make sure that Dean can fit in a dress. You know, we'll zip him up in there and hope for the best.
I've been working on my figure too, so we'll see.
I
But
really
yeah,
didn't. I did not like Dean in high school.
she didn't.
I did not.
Why is that, Molly?
You were annoying.
Explain to everyone on the internet who watches our podcast here. I want all the details.
Okay, but to be fair, all 16-year-old boys are annoying. All of them. Yes, that includes you.
Yeah.
That included you. All, like, teenage boys are
True.
annoying. They're loud. They're obnoxious. I was, like, the quiet kid. I kind of stuck to myself. I
What
hung out
happened
with
to
only
that?
my...
Sorry. Also, me and Molly, we maybe talked like once or twice in high school. And that's coming from a school that's super small. Where I would see her every day. We
never talked.
We didn't.
I would just like walk past him. I think I'm. And look at us now. We're filming a podcast
Look
together.
at this. We're
Look
getting
at
married.
That. Character development. Dean's gonna wear my dress. We're
Until
older
she kicks
now.
me
We're
out.
older now.
We're mature more.
We are?
We're not mature
We're
more.
slightly more mature. You know.
A lot of people didn't like me in high school. It's life.
Yeah, I think it was just the atmosphere of the school, though.
It is.
It was so small that everybody just said whatever
we got
they
annoyed
wanted.
of each other.
Yeah, we really did. Like, you would like somebody one day, and then, like, the very next day, it's like, oh, I can't stand to be around them anymore. Because you're with the same people for the entire 8 hours a day.
Of our lives.
Because the classes are so small, you hung out with the same people for the entire day, every single class. Like, there was no mix-up.
There wasn't.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to third period, and my cool friend's going to be at third period.
And it's not like you're in there with other classes. It's usually just your grade.
Usually just your grade. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Panic at the Disco. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Hey, I saw Panic at the Disco in concert.
I did too, 3 times.
I've only seen him once. I saw him at the John Paul Jones Arena.
Charlottesville.
Mm-hmm.
This is me and Molly's podcast. Brandon's just here living
Wait. How is it?
So, me and her are getting married, or you and her are getting married?
I thought it was being you.
Me and you. You're right.
Whatever. Somebody's wearing a dress. It may not be me. I'm not sure.
Alright, but how is it that the guy that likes music the most has been to the least amount of concerts?
Because you hate
You don't
people.
sing either.
He doesn't.
You don't.
If you're at a concert, it's part of the experience to like sing along and like if the artist says jump, you better start jumping.
You better freaking jump.
You better jump. If you're just the one standing there like
You look
doing
like a
nothing, you look like an
douchebag.
idiot.
Alright, did we fail to mention the time that you came home and I was blaring my, like, what is it,
But you
Metallica
weren't
or
singing.
something and flipped the whole living room inside out?
Pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Oh, are you just gonna ignore it that way? I mean, I'm just saying.
But you weren't singing. And it wasn't in public. Brennan, give me another good moment from 2020. I can think of one for you.
Alright, what's one for me?
Well, why don't you say what you're
No,
thinking?
tell me what you're
You just can't think of anything.
You're right.
I was gonna say losing your job and getting a better job.
That is true.
Alright, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna throw any
No.
company names or anything out there, but yeah, I would say leaving a previous job was probably, honestly, the number one thing
Best
for the
thing to
year.
happen
For
to you,
sure.
dude.
Yeah, I was just going through some like really bad stuff, and leaving a job let most of my stress go away. And I'm making the same amount of money, working half the time, and I'm in a far better place.
As somebody who was just like watching it all happen, you know, because it was your job and that company, the nonstop calls, like at all times of day. Like he would get home from work and immediately get a phone call. He could work 14 hours, get home and get a phone call, like nonstop. And it would be like, it was always like, he would be like, oh my gosh, why is so-and-so calling me right now? What is happening? And then something would happen and then he'd be stressed out the rest of the night. And it was like, wash, rinse, repeat every single day.
The first time me and Brandon hung out after the few years that we didn't get to see each other, we were at Applebee's. He got about 4 calls within 20 minutes from his boss. And Brandon just was like, Dean, I can't do it. I just gotta ignore it. I want to enjoy myself. So I didn't get to experience it like Molly did, obviously. But just the one time hanging out, I got to see some of it. And Brandon has got a lot better since he left that job.
That job was pretty soul-crushing for him.
Yeah.
This job is far better. Less hours, same pay, but you're still making the same money because the other job was salary. So it's not like he was getting any overtime for working those crazy hours. Every single day.
Non-stop.
Like 6 or 7, it was almost always 6 days a week.
Honestly, I don't even know how you got time to squeeze in there for us to even grab, dinner that night.
I know, dude. It was sad for us.
Sometimes 7 days a week. Sometimes it would be Sundays as well. And then you would do a whole other week, and then you'd get Saturday and Sunday off, maybe.
Yeah, and even then, we were still working mostly
Still
Saturdays
working.
at least.
Right. And always like 12-hour days. Like, I was working second shift at the time, so I was working the 2 to 10, but sometimes I would beat Brandon home. And he would have left for work and been there at work at like 8 in the morning. Probably the best thing to happen to you in 2020.
Yeah.
Other than getting engaged to me.
Yeah, other than that.
Other than that.
I know this is your podcast, but since we are talking about like 2020 and all the crap, the coronavirus, I know that you work in the medical field, so you're exposed nonstop. I caught it, sadly, but what's your experience with it? Like, what do you have to do?
Okay, so it depends on like cases, because I work in a facility. So if we have no cases, then we just continue to wear our masks. We don't have to wear any other PPE other than a mask.
Okay.
Currently, we do have some cases. So if you're working on that side of the community, because you have to wear, you know, the gown, goggles, N95. Sometimes at the beginning they made us wear the face shields.
Yeah.
It depends on like your cases and like what the Department of Health says at that time, because it changes constantly.
Okay.
Like every week it was something different. Like when we first started, it was just take your temperature, do you have a cough, and then it was like a whole other list of things, and it just like kept going from there. And every week it's, oh, you can do this, but you can't do this, or oh, you can't be within 6 feet of each other. Oh, but you can be as long as it's not cumulative of 15 minutes, and it's continuing to change. I have seen people catch COVID who have got it and have unfortunately passed. And it's destroyed like families. Like people can't see their loved ones,
It's sad.
can't visit. If we don't have cases, then we can have visits, and they just have to be patio visits that are distance. Like you can't even hug your mom.
Even with my dad never caught it, but he's a very high risk. He has Lyme's disease, and narcolepsy, and he just wasn't comfortable with being face to face with me. So for about, let's say, 3 months, I visit my dad once or twice a week. I'd have to sit outside and just talk to him through the window, and it was sad. It was not the same at all. We couldn't watch football, hockey together, and that's what we do every week, and it just sucked. And for me, who caught it, I don't know. I mean, it could happen to anybody. Brandon, pizza. Yeah, it could happen to anybody. But for me, thank God, it was not horrible. I just couldn't taste anything at all. I couldn't smell or taste. And I had a fever. But other than that, I don't want to downplay the virus because for everyone it's different. For me, thank the Lord, it was not bad. But obviously, I thought about everyone else. And I don't want to give that to people because people do pass from it.
Everything is awful.
Oh, sorry, Kat.
Well, I mean, I know COVID has led you to starting your YouTube channel after 4 years of wanting to do it.
I don't think that it was COVID that did that.
Yes, but it happened in 2020.
Let me preface this. Okay, guys, so with Brandon's YouTube, this guy, I've been trying to tell him forever to do it. He makes controllers, and he wanted to sell controllers. I said, YouTube's a great way. He's like, I have all the equipment for YouTube, and he would never do it. And he's like, I don't like my voice. I sound weird on camera. And I said, it doesn't matter. Just do it, and you'll have fun. That's how I thought when I did all this stuff first. Just do it, and it's fun. And thank God he started to do it. And from what I see, he's enjoying it. He'll text me, say, oh, my next video is coming up. I'll text him saying, hey, you did good on this. You could fix this. But his videos so far that I've seen, I've liked them. I like the whole, with the whole testing the food, trying to guess what it is. I mean, you have Molly, too, to help you out.
Yeah, she seems to be enjoying it so far.
She's doing good. And Molly does a lot of the editing, I guess, supposedly.
Yeah, I have so many videos to edit right now. I did the editing on the
She did a good job. Literally.
And I've never edited anything before. It was just like,
I hate editing, and I saw that, and the second she zoomed in on that, I was like, that's not Brandon. I didn't want to tell him, but I knew that was not Brandon. I knew it wasn't.
I'm a little bit of a perfectionist at things. Like when I have like a vision for like what I want the videos to look like, and I can't really make it happen. I just don't have like the practice. Like I don't necessarily love the way that they're turning out, but each one is like getting a little bit better.
Yeah,
which
they
is
are.
the point.
They really are.
Which is the entire point. Because like the first video, like we barely edited anything. Like I think it was pretty
It
much
was
like
raw video, basically.
Pretty much. I think I did like one cut that was like, I think we together were like.
You zoomed in on the Liquid Death was the first video, right?
Yes, there was one little zoom in,
right in,
but it was already terrible. Like I was like, I don't understand why it's not zooming. Like I put like the zoom out in and it wasn't zooming out, and I was like, what is happening? And I figured out a way to do it. I don't know if that's the right way, but there's like a cut involved, and like it you know, I figured it out in the next video. And it takes a while. It's a little therapeutic, because like when I get to the end and I like go back and like rewatch, I'm like, okay, all right. Like for me, my favorite part in the one was the close up and like the crashing sound of him like as he hits the plate, and then the close up of Butterscotch is just for me. Like the little there was like the little
I forgot about
sticks.
that one. Yeah.
It zooms in on her because Brandon was just like doing nothing important, so I zoomed in on the cat since she jumped into frame.
They're all getting just a little bit better, so.
That's how it works, dude.
It's practice.
It takes, this is my whole thought, it takes one video to go viral. One.
Yeah. Just one.
Some of my videos have like 25 views and some have a couple thousand.
Alright! Alright guys, that wraps it up for our first podcast. Dean, thank you so much for being here today and for filming with us. I had a good time.
I did too.
I had a good time. It was nice to kind of reflect back and just think like 2020 wasn't the worst.
And me and Molly don't dislike each other anymore.
Right,
Hopefully.
we can stand to be in the same room.
We can.
And this is the most I've ever talked to Dean, probably today.
It's true.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We plan to do a podcast video at least once, if not twice a month. So look out for those. I know in the future, Brandon and I probably want to do a video gaming podcast and kind of talking about like our experiences growing up playing video games and having that be like a core part of kind of like our shaping our childhood, honestly. So look out for videos like that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks for causing chaos with us today. We'll see you in the next one. See ya!
Bye, guys!